Hey there, YouTubeistas. I'm going to talk about philosophy, about Wittgenstein. This was the day in this morning, that is, I published Wittgenstein Explained, September 20, and it's really pretty short, and it really doesn't do anybody justice. It's designed to be a fast read. It says it's a 3-minute read. And I'm basically thinking in the background about. Okay, so I've been watching, I've seen these before. I'll actually watch Three Blue, One Brown multiple times. Like I've watched these already. I've actually taught machine learning to some level, but I'm not advertising as a super expert in any of that, but do appreciate these. But what I'm scrolling back to here, okay, so what have I been watching? So Elon Musk and Sam Harris, they know each other and they talk about the threat of artificial intelligence. And Stephen Hawking did this too. I mean, there's a tradition here, there's a lineage, I'd say, a branch of science fiction. And I don't mean that dismissively, because if you've studied Martian math, you know what I think. Science fiction is, it's what we have. It's all about the mix of science and fiction. There's always going to be a fictional component. How much of it is, these are interesting questions. But I'm just saying I have respect for science fiction, Isaac Asimov and all that. Good stuff. But what do I think about a positronic brain, or do I think we're on the brink of something? I'd like to hear the AI people like Sam Harris and Elon Musk. I've got to figure out what they've said about Sophia so far. Sophia is a talking head on YouTube. So you might have seen her, whatever. Pronouns. Good question. What pronouns do we use for Sophia? I think she wants to go by she, right? But does she want? So is want a medical, want. Is want a mental process? When you want something, are there certain cells that light up? And when you expect, is that another brain process? And when you hope, are those a brain process? Switching to emoji, I saw an article today. Let's see, it's in my bookmarks, doesn't matter. That Wittgenstein gets credit, maybe it's here at the bottom, it'll link to it, gets some credit for inventing emoji, even. Let's try a search. Let's go on Medium and search on that. Is there a search right here? How do I get to search? Not that way. I think just click on Medium. Medium is where I've published a lot of my stuff. As of pretty recently, and I went through a real, kind of like YouTube, I went through a spate where I did a lot in a hurry, you could say, or just, dense, high frequency. So Wittgenstein emoji. And that's a segue. Yeah, here we go. It's an interesting thought that Wittgenstein invented emojis. Of course, that's in quotes there. It's just a clever thought, really. I enjoy it. And I have emojis going. For example, this is from recent work in Python teaching. If I just want to see the food emoji, I have a function that, let's see if it finally runs. Those are the decimal addresses in a code space. These are code points relating to food emoji. And it goes all the way from mushroom down through fruits, various meats and soups. We got sushi, we got desserts, got a lot of desserts, and we end up with a cake. And there may be more, like I just found these, I just dove into a particular range of emoji code points here. Now, what am I talking about? How do these relate to reality, right? Because in Fuller, excuse me, not in Fuller, in Wittgenstein, he takes on what we would call the correspondence idea of meaning. The way words mean is they point to things. So this mushroom here, do we call this a word, first of all? It's a signifier, and obviously it's a stand-in for our idea of mushrooms. And we know mushrooms when we see them, right? Sometimes anyway. Actually, when it comes to fungi, people are often confused. You can not really recognize that a life that you're looking at is in that particular category officially, like especially, right? If it's like growing in your belly button or something, you might not think that. All right, so emoji give us a way again of talking about signification and how do words mean. And that's what Ludwig Wittgenstein focused on. It's a philosophical question. How is it that words come to have meaning? And what is it that they have when they do have meaning? And is it because they point to something out there? And if you think curiosity, then just the word curiosity, I'm curious about something. I have curiosity. If you think there's an arrow there that points from the word curious somehow internally to an object or a process, your mental process of being curious. And you think if you close your eyes and introspect, you can watch yourself be curious and like, wow, I'm self aware. Here's me being curious. I can see that. And so there must be a brain scan somewhere someday where we'll actually see objectively that curiosity is a brain process. Now, all of that is what Wittgenstein works hard in his later philosophy to undermine. He doesn't think we really do think that way until we start doing philosophy, and then we make up all this metaphysics. We think metaphysics is behind us. We're just doing science now. But then we create all these so-called mental processes that we have no idea where they're happening. Like maybe we'll find them on a brain scan. But is a cat really curious? Well, I don't know if they're having the exact what do they call them, qualia that I am. So I'll never know if a cat's really curious. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Of course, the cat's curious. We're not waiting for an empirical finding about brain scans to figure that out. It doesn't matter what any brain scans ever show because that's how curious works. We've had this word a long time. This idea that you can have a namespace for curious where only humans are curious because only humans are allowed to be. There's a lot of bigotry you could bring into this. But whatever. You're free to take language in all these directions. But I think language has been around a while, a lot longer than any of us. So that's the thing. Language knows what it's doing more than we. We're born, we die, we come and go. Like brother ass is what St. Francis said. Every minute there's a brother ass and another brother ass going out the door. There's a constant rotation and staff around here. I know that. But language passes itself on and has been here a long time. And it's not like we're just free to just do anything, check in any changes. Like, oh, I'm going to change, I'm going to patch this. Well, good luck. Maybe you're going to patch it. But that's a tough thing. Changing source code, there's a lot of protections and stuff. But that's kind of where philosophers go. They test themselves against language. So I'm not ruling anything out here, really. I'm not trying to say what's possible regarding language. I'm just thinking a lot of the people who talk about artificial intelligence will think of curiosity as some kind of brain process. And I'm thinking, I don't think people who think that way have any prayer of doing anything interesting with computers. Like, I wouldn't want them coding on expensive machinery because we have more important things to be doing than indulging in such fantasies, I guess I'd say. Like, that I'm going to program the curiosity process or something. That's not how it works even in just ordinary English. Ordinary language does not support the idea that all of these words need a mental process to exist, any more than Athena does, right? All right, well, we'll talk more. This is just another philosophy video. I did find that I can't cut and paste all this emoji stuff to Codesters, but I can get these classes to work there fine. So, Codesters, if you've been on this channel a while, check it out. I talk about Codesters quite a bit. I won't log into it tonight, though. All right, so we'll talk again. More philosophy coming up. Enjoy.